Well, don't ask me how I did the background. that just happened today. Uh, I didn't know myself either until today. Like literally this morning around 8:50. It's 9 right now, and welcome. Give it about like a few more minutes for y'all to on the frequency, on the vibration. This is just part 2 of yesterday. I unlisted it, but you can still go see what happened at the YouTube. Like as soon as you get on my YouTube page, on the YouTube algorithm, it will pop up, but it won't pop up on my YouTube channel. Weird. So you have to outsmart the system. The reason why I do that because sometimes I put too much Easter eggs in certain things, and not everybody is able to see. We talk about a lot of things. We talk about a lot of topics. So, those that don't know, wants to know about this background, where I took it. I took it in New York. I took this background in New York. I think I have a viewer to go back to New York and do things correctly. When I should have done things correctly the first time. I am traveling. I'm trying to get to my destination in the future. And the future is every day, honestly. Our future is not a one-time journey. I keep thinking that. I don't have to keep going back to New York. I can go to Vegas if I want to. I don't know anyone to be honest. Today's gonna be a long section. I can already feel it because I'm gonna be sitting here for a while until about like maybe 3 o'clock or 2 p.m. So it's going on 2. I'm just waiting for y'all to come on in if y'all want to join on today's section of today's live. It's about frequency and spells, which you guys probably already know that, but I'm adding on to yesterday what I was talking about if you was here live yesterday. Welcome. First of all, let me introduce myself. I am Aphrodite Venus. That is my YouTube name. That is not my government name. My government name is on my Cash App. So if you search my Cash App bar name, you'll see my name on there. And feel free to say a little love if you can. I'm getting them dirty. So, and I gotta keep continuing the journey. Alright, let's just get started. You know, certain things that we put into existence within the words of they say words are frequencies. That is true, yes. But like words can be also a vibration. It can be a holographic simulation of what it is you're trying to express internally. And most words that you see today, like how these apps gets us today, is what they're putting in the words in their apps, in the title. Like TikTok is a form of code word. It's a Freemason sonic word. TikTok is a form of time. It's associated with Saturn. The Saturn energy. And most Christianity, they did not know that they were worshiping Saturn because, you know, we used to go to church as kids. We used to see them wearing the hat, especially the older women. That, you know that old school hat that I'm talking about. It's like it's big, it's long, it covers half their head, half their face, and it's in the shape of a ring. That's associated with Saturn. Saturn also deals with the subconscious mind. And when we're talking about the subconscious mind is the female aspect of your mind. How to walk on? So you're going to go up them. Make sure you hit the like button if you're stuck on that. So the subconscious mind is the female aspect of your mind. This part of the mind represents your controlling of all systems in the body without you being consciously aware. In other words, it's your hidden part of the mind that's telling you your heart to beat and your lungs to beat. These things automatically do that. Your subconscious mind is programmed, right? The mind is similar to a computer and it holds programs. The programs are responsible for 90% of your daily behavior. For example, the amount of brushing your teeth will be subconscious mental program because you automatically do it. Or like eating, using the bathroom, or washing your hands is the subconscious program. And you don't have to think twice about brushing your teeth or doing any of these things. This is something that is automatic. You can go outside of your subconscious. You can just say, I don't want to do none of these things. But then, if you don't do none of these things, your system shuts down. You automatically shut down. For example, you experience a very traumatic event when you were young. This event can be recorded like it was yesterday because your emotional impression on the subconscious mind was so strong. When you are in a traumatic state of mind, you can recall these memories through your emotions, but subconsciously you don't want to remember the feelings you experience. So you kind of like turn it off. You become, you're not the alpha or the omega at the time when you're turning it off. It's more so you're giving yourself the benefit of the doubt that this didn't really happen. And so to recall an event that you want to remember that's programmed in your subconscious, you really have to feel that emotion when you first felt it. The stronger the emotion felt, the stronger the impression on the subconscious mind. That is absolutely true. The stronger you feel the emotion during the oppression doesn't make you, it doesn't define you, it doesn't determine your ability to have frequency, to feel frequency in the first place, or to even think that you are underneath a program because the subconscious mind will not tell you that you are underneath a program. You're underneath strict rules or duality consciousness because the subconscious mind is duality as well. But the subconscious mind and the conscious mind play hand. The conscious mind is the male aspect of your mind. It's responsible for everything you are aware of. Example, your visual field, your five senses, thought, UCT. Most of us, when we grew up, we did not understand none of these cool terms during our awakening. I'm 31 years old. I had multiple awakenings, but now at the age of 31, I'm sitting down talking to myself as I'm talking to you to remind myself like why these things existed in the first place. Like if your male aspect, if you have a role model who's in a negative state, right? It can be your brother, it can be your cousin, it can be your uncle, who's the subconscious mind of your reality. It can be your daddy, somebody who's a male figure. If they have like low vibration, low frequency, and you are aware of it, 9 out of 10 or like 7 out of 10, you're most likely gonna choose that path as well to be negative, to see how they saw the world, how they handled the world. That's where your subconscious mind comes in, the female aspect of your mind. It separates you from the part of being your lowest self versus your higher self. And these two mindsets doesn't control your enlightenment. They're just aware of its own system. So if you are surrounded somebody who is negative, that is a male, and it's controlling your consciousness. Females can do this too. Females can have a negative aspect of your mind as well. Even though their intentions of teaching you is harmful, this is an adolescent because this is what they learn, this is what they've gone through. 90% of your mind is going to connect to their memories and their subconscious and their conscious instead of your own. Because although you are going through this experience by yourself traumatically, you have to take a program which you, or you have to design a program. The reason why we all fall back into old habits is that habits is a subconscious program. Therefore, we will manifest that program into our consciousness. So, the chance of changing these programs, we have to be beyond the conscious mind and what affects the subconscious mind to recreate these programs. These are many techniques. Well, there are many techniques. These are many techniques that you can do to break out of this. Because at the end of the day, for those who are consciously aware that, oh, I'm just like my mama, or I'm just like my daddy, or I'm just like my cousin, I'm just like my auntie, I'm just like everybody I in contact with. It's not your fault because your brain is like a sponge. Your personality tends to absorb what is bleeding inside of the sponge, when you're that fragment, you're that not skilled spiritually. Yeah, it's okay. So here are the techniques that I explain. And then I'm not going to grab my number for brother. Instead of trying to find a program, why don't you create your program based off what is given to you out of examples? Don't just do it because it works for me. Do it because it works for you. Meditation, of course. We all know about affirmations. Create your affirmation and meditation yourself. Use your own frequency, your own vibration, what you want to hear inside of your mind. What you want to say to yourself. But like, be careful, words are sweets. Everything is a sweet. The mind is the light and the matter. You light and you matter. When you light, when you light something in your reality, that's when you become matter. That's when you're in the state of your mind. You, in a way, you are in the state of the mind, but also the spirit. It's, you're the spirit, you're the subconscious, you're the consciousness, you're the body, and you're the light. And you are also that moment for your future, right? Creation is a periodic change. It's the state of the unchanging substance that is in reality existing in substance. The body of God is light. The substance of all created things is light. The created universe is the Recognition and matter of the idea of thinking mind. Mind is expressed in light. Light is the storehouse of the energy of the thinking mind. The energy of the universe of the energy of thinking mind. The universe is a universe of energy. Energy expended in light. You are a small magnet or a large magnet of the universe, of the cosmos. You're etherical and spiritual at the same time. You're inner self slash mind, one, and you're also just a universal dimensional. You know how I told you yesterday, right? The planes of existence of reality. Existence of reality. You know how I told you there's the mental, the physical, the middle astral, the lower astral, and the physical plane. And that's fear for the levels of reality, of what we are consciously aware of. And most of us, we can go beyond those realities, those stages of mind outside of this time. The reason why it's like that is because we believe we're not just physical. We believe we're just not astral. We believe we're just not mental. We believe that we are all of the above of what God designed us to be. So in the exterior plane, when they exist in that matter, that's when the electric and the magnetic field combine its futures together. Whether it's the future, past, present, all at once. It supports. It supports the. I don't know. It supports your dream, your idealistic of your reality. It's not God's eye. It is you visiting God's eye inside of the eye, inside of His mind, taking a timeline that you desire to be in. So Leonardo da Vinci is as symbolic as above, so below. They all are. It's not Leonardo da Vinci. It's nine of them. It's nine of them, and they're all vegans because like the things that you eat in your body also helps with the program as well, the subconscious and the conscious mind. When you don't eat right, you don't do right. When you're not clean on the inside, internally, or outside, like whether in your home, it shows up in reality. So your manifestation might look a little wonky. Like you have to, I don't know, you have to turn your Saturn. You have to turn your Saturn and religion the opposite direction of your desire. It's much more than you just meeting God, or you meeting your own creation or your creator. You know? That's why I'm trying my best to stay off social media these days because the demonic harvesting that they're holding right now is ridiculous. Everybody is underneath. God doesn't want to tell this, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. I'll go to hell for it on my own. So there's no such thing as hell. It's just a reference. The lower subconscious. Uh, there is a program that's getting ready to be happening right now. Why do you think that the Stargate is reopening? Or they're using more melanin, more black people to preach about God than white people? Or I'm one of them, for example, but I'm trying to break myself out of curse, out of the loop, out of the habit. Because to know God, you gotta go within. That's why I'm getting ready to shut everything down. In the next 30, 40 days, I gotta go within God. I gotta go within myself, within my own nerves. And they're using this to harness everybody energy, to make another copy of this universe with another universe with another dimension with us doing something different than what we are doing with our lives. By the time it hits our mind and we try to do it in reality, they have control of what goes in and out of the bottle, in and out of the earth energy field that we can access our timeline. They don't know a lot of people accessing their timeline at all. Like, there's a reason. They want certain people to stay in a higher plane. The higher plane is where your thought, your manifestation is formed. They want to control what you are forming within yourself and your own thought. Oh, you want to design that chair, but oh, I want to sell it this way off of your profit, off of what you design. And then that's where you come in the mental plane to separate yourself from the physical. The middle astral, like, they're gonna destroy everything. Like, come on now. Like, this is why I have to do something about it. Like, we all can just off with ourselves. That's too easy for them. We can't kill our own energy. We can't dim our own energy. We can't go back to sleep. The only thing they can do is just raise the beast into consciousness. And from what I've seen in New York, half of us are failing and half of us are ascending. But the ones that look like they are ascending are actually failing. They don't know the true Allah, or they don't know the true God, or they don't know the true master of their own creation, who created them. Is all underneath a strict. So I got back in my old timeline where I'm familiar with everything. You have to get in a safe position to know God. You can't just go, oh, I know God because somebody told me, oh, this is who God is. Who is God in your consciousness? Honestly, that's what I want to know. I want to know who's God in your consciousness. Seriously. I was going to say up here to like 3, but knowing me, I like to break up shit. Because I'm an introvert, I don't really like to hear myself talk too much. I really don't. Even I get annoyed of me. Because I can feel me. That's how bad of the echo is. We're to the point where myself is echoing back. Alright, I'm gonna give you one hint of something that somebody needs to know, and I have the information for it. The chakras. I'm just going down a list of chakras, and you put 2 and 2 together. This is the highest self spiritual consciousness. You have wisdom, intuition, and expression. And then you have the middle chakra, which is love, the heart. Now you have the lower self chakra. You have power, food, sex. You're trying to control your lower and higher self. But really, you need to let your higher self be the lower self so the lower self can be the higher self. Let it be that delusional. Because, heaven stands for even. You're trying to get even with heaven. You're trying to get even with your mind while spiritually being mentally trapped in the subconscious mind. Your subconscious might be in the lower, or your subconscious mind might be in the highest. So you're trying to guide yourself midpoint, which is love. Love your higher and lower self. Again, let your lower self be your higher self. Let your higher self be your lower self. They don't know which is which. The subconscious mind and the conscious mind does not have a fucking clue until it learns that it's in heaven and it's even. Okay? You got it? Hopefully. Hopefully you got it. Because the term heaven contains the word even or 11 or L. It's much more than that, but that's why they made Stranger Things. Stranger Things was a worldwide globe of our spiritual awakening throughout generation. It doesn't matter what time zone you was in. You remember feeling this. You remember feeling such and such time period, and experiencing this and at the moment. It doesn't matter what time zone it was. You just remember. That's why I think society puts an illusion on time. Their closing time. That's why they pinpoint time. So with you being in your subconscious and consciousness, remember these terms. I know, I see, I speak, I love, I do, I feel, I am. I don't know. Say it every day. I know, I see, I speak, I love, I do, I feel, I am. Alrighty? That's it. That was part 2. I'm about to get off, you guys. Those who coming back on in. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, I guess, or listening.